In this video, I'm going to explain how to take off panels using Rhino software with PlanSwift takeoff software. So one of the things that makes it incredibly fast to do estimating is, using Rhino with PlanSwift is that you can download the Rhino assembly catalog and product catalog. Now, what you do is you just drill down in this catalog to find the item you're looking for, digitize, count on screen, and export them back to Rhino software. Let me show you what I mean by that. Here on the screen, we see the panel schedule. Okay, I put this panel schedule of a set of commercial blueprints on here. I'm going to zoom in here, and we're going to count these panels. Okay, so here we see there's a 125 amp panel. It's 480, 277 volt. I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. Here's another one that's 225 amp, 120, 208 volt, and so on. There's one 3-pole. It's a 225 amp, 120, 208 volt panel. Now, I won't cover each one in here or show you that, but what we're going to do is we're going to actually count these and then import them to Rhino to capture the labor for installing the panels. Over on the right, I'm going to click drill down to find panels. So I'll click on this plus sign. I'll click panels 100 amp to 400 amp on the right over here. I'll open that up and it will display a list of different panels. Now all I do is select the panel I want to digitize and then count them on the screen over here. I'm going to do that next. There's only one 125 amp panel here, so I'm going to start with that one. Over here in the product catalog of Rhino, I see that there's a 125 amp main lug only panel, 480 volt 277. I'm going to select that one and digitize and count. Again, there's only one of those panels I digitized. I'm just going to click right next to the panel ampacity here. When I do it, I'll put a symbol or a colored symbol on the page, and that shows that it's been counted. Next, I'm just going to go and count all the 225 amp panels. Same way, I'll go over here, click on the right panel, and digitize and count them. Here I'm counting this 125 amp, 120, 208 volt. Again, just go over the list of panels here. 125, 120, 120, 208. Digitize and count it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and count the rest of these panels off screen. I'll show you the final result. I want to point out for this 600 amp panel, I'm going to go into a different category. In Rhino product catalog, again, we have panels 100 amp to 400 amp. We also have switchgear clear up to 4,000 amp. So I'm going to drill down in that. I'll find the 600 amp panel and count that next. Okay, again, the cool thing about Rhino is it has labor built in for panels 100 amp clear up to 4,000 amp. And on this screenshot, you can see how there's symbols by every panel, meaning I've counted them all. Next, I'm going to export them back to Rhino, and Rhino will then display the labor to install the panels. Now, also, in other videos, I've shown how you take off circuit breakers the same way. I won't show it here, but let me just drill down into this panel schedule here. So it works the same way for circuit breakers. Rhino has circuit breaker termination labor built in for panels, or I should say for circuit breakers 1-pole, 2-pole, and 3-pole clear up to 4,000 amp. Any circuit breaker that needs to be terminated to, you would count here to capture the labor. Now, just a side note is you would not count the spare circuit breakers here because they don't need termination. Okay, won't go into that any deeper. I'm just going to go now import this to Rhino and I'll show you the results. Here we see a list of items, or in this case, panels that were taken off. I'm going to use this Rhino connector. The Rhino connector is what, if you will, talks from Rhino to PlanSwift. I'm going to highlight these items and export them back to Rhino. I'll show you the results. Here I just highlight the items in PlanSwift. On the connector, I'm just going to click Export Takeoff and click the Export Takeoff button. Then when it's completed, I'm going to open Red Rhino and show you the results of that. It imported, or I should say exported, those items to Red Rhino. Red Rhino's going to display the labor to install those items. In this screenshot, it shows Red Rhino. I have an estimate open here, and we see where it added the panels, 125 amp main lug only, 48277, and so on. It added all these panels in here. It displays the labor to install the panels, and that's how it works, okay? Again, the thing that makes this process so fast is that you import the Red Rhino product and assembly catalog over here on the right into PlanSwift. You find what you're looking for here, digitize, count on screen, then export it back to Red Rhino. Now, if you're doing an estimate, a real estimate, you might have hundreds and hundreds of items that you do that with, but it makes the process really fast. Okay, that's the end of this video.